3 months ago, nobody had heard of this team. Somewhere, off the coast of West Africa, there's a country you've probably never had a reason to look up. 10 small islands, 500,000 people, no football academies with billion-dollar budgets, no golden generation, no history. At the World Cup, none, ever. And in June 2026, this country walked onto a field in Atlanta and held Spain to a draw. This is how they got there. Cape Verde isn't just a small country, it's the second smallest nation to ever qualify for a FIFA World Cup. Population-wise, you could fit the entire country inside a mid-sized American city. Football here has never had the infrastructure of a France or a Brazil. What it's had instead is a diaspora. Thousands of Cape Verdean families left for Portugal, France, and the Netherlands generations ago, looking for work, for opportunity, for a different life. Their children grew up playing football inside European academies. Some of them had never even set foot on Cape Verdean soil until they were old enough to wear the national shirt. This team wasn't built on money, it was built on people coming home. But 3 weeks before the World Cup, this entire story almost didn't happen. The man behind this isn't some imported European coach with a famous resume. His name is Pedro Bubista Brito. Everyone just calls him Bubista. He played for Cape Verde himself, 21 international caps. Back in the early 2000s, when he retired, he didn't leave the program, he stayed, he worked his way up. And in 2020, he became head coach. 6.5 years later, he had taken Cape Verde to back-to-back Africa Cup of Nations knockout stages. Then, in October 2025, he did something no Cape Verdean coach had ever done. Cape Verde needed one final victory. Their opponent, Eswatini, behind them. Cameroon, a continental powerhouse, was waiting for any mistake. Cape Verde never gave them one. 3-0. They topped the group. They had done it. They were going to the World Cup. For that achievement, Bubista was named CAF Coach of the Year, but he'd probably tell you the trophy meant nothing compared to what his country gained that night. Look at the captain's armband, and you'll find Ryan Mendes, 36 years old, 94 international caps, 22 goals, both national records. He had spent his entire career waiting for this. Not another qualification campaign, not another near miss, an actual FIFA World Cup. At 36, this was his only chance, and everyone around him knew it. Then there's Logan Costa, a defender who tore his ACL almost a year earlier and had played just 13 minutes of competitive football before Bubista put him on the plane anyway. A captain on his last chance, a defender who almost lost everything. This was the team that carried an entire nation's dream onto football's biggest stage. June 15th, 2026, Atlanta, Cape Verde's first ever World Cup match against Spain, reigning European champions. Nobody gave them a chance, not 1 point. Spain had the ball, the pressure, wave after wave of attacks, and Cape Verde just didn't break. 90 minutes later, the scoreboard read 0-0. A country of 500,000 people had walked onto football's biggest stage and refused to lose. A nation with no money, no history, and 10 small islands just proved that football doesn't ask where you're from before it lets you compete. Cape Verde came, they stood toe-to-toe with Spain, and the football world finally took them seriously. But the story wasn't over. Their next challenge was Uruguay, another football giant, another nation expected to end Cape Verde's dream. Instead, history was made. For the first time at a FIFA World Cup, Cape Verde found the back of the net. Kevin Pina. A goal that echoed across 10 small islands. Uruguay responded. They fought back. They even took the lead. Most people thought that was it, but this team had already shown they never stopped believing. Helio Varela, one finish, one moment, one nation, erupted. When the final whistle blew, the scoreboard read, Uruguay, 2, Cape Verde, 2, 2 matches against Spain, and Uruguay, 2 draws, 2 points, still unbeaten. A country with just 500,000 people refusing to be intimidated by football's biggest names. Now, one final challenge remains. Saudi Arabia, 90 minutes, one opportunity, win. And Cape Verde will reach the FIFA World Cup knockout stages for the first time in their history. 3 months ago, almost nobody knew their name. Today, the entire football world is watching because Cape Verde isn't fighting for respect anymore. They're fighting for history. And maybe, just maybe, the greatest underdog story of this World Cup is still being written. The story is only just beginning.